Hey guys, I'm Danielle.
I'm Marján.
You're listening to Let's Rant About It podcast.
And today, shout out to Nicole G for giving us this topic. It's a really good topic. And it's been hard to even start it. But
Yeah.
it's about communication. So, yeah. I feel like it's hard because we ain't that great at it either.
Yeah, no. Definitely not. Communicating my feelings is very awkward.
Very.
Saying things to people I care about is very awkward.
Extremely awkward.
But, like, I'd rather say it than not say it, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's something that I'm working on. I feel like I can't say we, but I feel like I'm working on it. Personally.
I'm working on it for sure.
It's not easy, but it's something that you have to work on. So I feel like, yeah, like you said, just start off with what good communication is.
Yeah.
What's that to you?
Good communication. Okay, so there's like two parts to me.
Okay.
Like actually talking and then listening, right?
That's a good one.
When you're talking, it's like you communicate your feelings, a certain situation. You're explaining something to somebody, you know, instead of I don't know. But the listening part, you're listening to their feelings, you're listening to what they're saying, you're comprehending what they're saying,
understanding what they're saying.
Definitely understanding. It's important to be understanding when you're in communication with somebody, instead of being like, oh, okay, and not really understanding what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because then, like, that literally got you nowhere, and that got them nowhere. Because you're talking, but they're not listening, or they're talking, but you're not listening. So the communication is off, you know?
Yes. I also feel like, is it safe to say, like, maybe a respect thing as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Because communication kind of shows that you respect the person, you respect their opinion, you respect what they're saying. Because, I mean, communication always ain't got to be a bad thing. You know, communication can be just you communicating, like, oh, let's say you got kids. I'm picking the kids up at 7.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And, okay, I'll go get them at 7. Now, if y'all don't communicate, who got the kids?
Literally.
So it could be just as simple as that. That's communicating. Communicating can be an argument. Communicating is very important in an argument, I feel like. Because you have to be able to listen, like you said, two sides, listen and talk.
Yes. Like, let's say me and you were in an argument. And no one's talking. Like, we're just, like, silent. Or you're talking and I'm just silent. Like, that's getting no one anywhere.
I'm going to throw myself under the bus. That's how I was a couple times, where something would irritate me. And I do find myself doing that again. A little bit, not as much. But, like, if I don't agree with something or something bothers me, I end up just not saying anything. To save the person and to save myself from not necessarily saying things that I'm going to regret, but just not being awkward or feeling awkward about it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like I'm trying to work on that communication part of it when it comes to me communicating.
I feel like I was like that. I would just, like, not say anything because it's awkward, but I feel like I got better at that.
Especially as you grow up. Like, at
definitely,
this point,
like, it's
like
no point in staying silent. Like, just talk it out. I would much rather talk it out than have this awkwardness between us.
Yes.
No matter who it is, it could be my mom, my dad, my brother, anybody in my family, a friend,
coworker, a guy,
yeah, a romantic relationship. It could be literally anybody, some stranger on the street.
I do it all too. I got great communication with strangers on the street.
Marján.
Great.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. If you do something I don't like, I'm telling you right then and there. And that's how I feel like I gotta work on myself in person. Maybe a little ease the blow when I talk to people in person. Yeah, I do agree with that. Like, why? It's a certain extent to where you can hold it in to have respect for the person, but at the same time, why make yourself suffer by pinching your lips together because you feel like you're gonna hurt someone's feelings?
Yeah.
You can say stuff respectful, but you can still get your point across. You know? And that's where good communication comes in.
You've known me for like 15 years. Would you say that you've seen a difference in the way I communicate?
Yes.
How so?
This ain't a bad thing, but you stand up for yourself more. You definitely stand up for yourself more, and you kind of like you put yourself first. I'm starting to notice that you put yourself first. You start to realize like, well, you know what? I don't want to really put myself in this awkward situation, so I'm just gonna say it now, or let's get this out the way now, so that way later we ain't really dealing with something awkward. You know, let's get the awkward with now. If it's about to be awkward later and now, then let's just get it out of the way now.
Just make it awkward now.
I've definitely seen you change, definitely for the better.
Okay.
What about me?
That's good. I would say so. I would say you are more. No, you've always been vocal, but you're more. I don't even know how to describe it, but you're just more.
I mean, I could be vocal, but
okay, no, not even like vocally. You're more listening wise. You're definitely more understanding to me.
Okay,
I see that definitely.
I feel like I put my over time. I'm definitely starting to put myself in. I always put myself in other people's shoes, but that's what kind of get me to take a step back first and then start saying stuff. But like being mad about it and stuff like that, or going silent.
Yeah,
I don't do that no more.
like let's just talk about it.
Yeah, I really hate confrontation. I hate awkward situations.
Same, but like sometimes you have to be confrontational, even if it's awkward. It's not even like you're confronting them. It's just you're trying to talk about it.
And even 9 times out of 10, if you confrontational, it ain't got to be a bad confrontation. It can just be confrontational to get over the problem.
Yeah.
And no problem. I'm the one that's type kind of like, I honestly, I don't say I hold grudges, but I can have a tendency not to forget something. You know what I'm saying? If there was something done unto me, I'm not going to forget it. I can forgive, but it's going to be damn hard for me to forget it. You know, I don't hold a grudge, but it's like if we ain't really talking about it, I was like, that's when I can get into holding a grudge. But that's also not good communication.
Yeah, no, that's not.
It's not.
But I feel like if you forgive, you don't have to like forget, but don't keep it over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you ain't going to bring it up then, I mean.
Yeah, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Of holding over their head.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm going to keep note of it, but I'm not going to hold it against you forever.
If you holding it against me but not ever saying nothing, then it's kind of like, okay, so why you ain't said something before, you know? Yeah. And I mean, that's another thing I got to work on. If something bothers me, I just got to say it. I can't hold this grudge and then like be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to explode when they do something else. I can't do that. Yeah. I can't bring what you did in this year to this year, you know? Like, for example, if I'm talking to a guy, let's say he did something to me in 2019, okay, and we never talked about it. But then I gave you a second chance in 2024.
Yeah.
And then you do something again in 2024. So now I'm going to add what you did in 2019 to 2024 and put it together. Yeah.
Because if it really bothered you,
should have said it.
Yeah, you should have said it in 2019, or you should have not have given him a chance in 2024.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah. Same. I mean, I feel like it's a work in progress forever.
Everybody can work on communication. It's a hard thing, I feel like, for most people, especially with people you know. It's like, God, I don't want to deal with this. Yeah.
Yeah. With people I know, it's definitely harder. You would think it would be easier, but it's just like,
you know this person. You know how they're going to act. You know how they take stuff, so you don't want to, like, you know?
Yeah. Cause more friction. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're trying to keep their feelings into consideration.
But with that, like, do they take my feelings into consideration?
That's good.
Because if there was like an issue and you did something to me and I felt some type of way about it, did you think about how it was going to affect me?
Like, I'm thinking about how it's affecting
yeah
you?
Like, I don't know, does that make sense?
Makes sense to me, because you want to be like, okay, let me spare this person, you know what I'm saying, because I know how they would feel if this was said to them. But then again, it's kind of like, wait a minute, would they spare me?
Yeah, that's what I'm learning.
You know, and sometimes you kind of have to like find the common ground. Like, would this person do the same for me, or look at it this way, the same that I'm looking at it for them? And if not, I feel like not double down, but kind of just match whoever you talking. Like, if I know you're the type of person, if I'm talking to you, right? And let's say I know you're the type of person to be like, okay, it is what it is. Okay, you know. Then when I come to you next time, I shouldn't be like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna be comfortable with this. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I say do the same thing. That could be bad too. I don't know.
This is kind of tough.
It's a really, it's a good topic, Nicole, but it's a tough topic.
Because it's tough for me because I, even though I feel like I'm getting better, I'm not all the way there. Like I don't know how to handle a lot of situations.
Like relationships, I can tell a guy easily, like, you making me mad. So I don't really know that person. You know, if it's you, I'd be like, may wait for a second and be like, this ain't really sitting real with me.
Yeah, I did pull up a couple questions
For sure.
What role do facial expressions, gestures, and pauses play in communication? Facial expressions is a whole response in itself.
That could tell a lot. Facial expressions can almost be louder than words.
Definitely. I'm not gonna say I study people. I don't study people, but if I know you and your mouth is saying one thing, but your face is saying something else,
I know the answer.
Yes,
from your looks.
Yes. Or if you don't say anything at all, but you have a certain face, I know the answer before you talk. And pauses, if we're talking about something and you don't respond for a while, I feel like I know what's going on already. Like it's to me that's easy, especially if I know you. Like sometimes silence is louder than words.
Definitely, way louder, way louder. You could be. Is this noticeable? Okay, ask me a question, like a yes or no question.
Marján, is the sky blue?
No, no, it's not.
Micro,
That's literally
micro,
how noticeable it is.
micro expressions are something too.
And sometimes you may not even notice you doing it, but especially to somebody you know, it's extremely noticeable. What's one thing you want to work on with communication to better yourself with communication, if that makes sense?
Hmm, that's a good question. You said I'm standing up for myself more, but I feel like I could work on that more, even further, because I'm not fully standing up for myself.
Yeah. You may sugarcoat it.
Yes, I certainly, I sugarcoat a lot because I don't want the other person to feel bad. So I like take like a minute to think about what I'm gonna say instead of just blurting it out because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I feel the exact same way. I feel like if I had to work on communication, I feel like I'm also coming to the point where I'm saying what how I feel, but at the same time, I have to stop easing the fall, like cushioning the fall, if that makes sense. Like, for example, I could be like, if somebody owe me money, I could be like, oh, so you gonna pay me back? And then the next text message is gonna be like, but I mean, if you don't got it right now, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop doing that. No, when you got my money.
My thing is, when someone asks me to do something, let's say it's a family member that asks me to do something, and if they ask me in text message, I will type out a text message and send it to my friends and say, does this sound too harsh, or is this too mean, or is this okay to send? Instead of just sending it, like, why do I need to see if it's okay to send? If it's how I feel, it's how I feel, and just send it.
Yeah. I mean, some people may think you kind of rude or bitchy because they not used to you doing that.
Yeah, true.
You could be like, if they be like, oh, well, what's getting into you? I'm just there enough for myself. I mean, I would never say that, but it's kind of like, how do you treat me?
But that's the thing. Most of the time, the people who I don't who I do sugarcoat it for are the people are that don't sugarcoat it for me. So it's like, why am I wasting my time going through a third party to see if it's okay to send? If you don't care in the first place.
My goodness.
You know?
We pretty similar. Cause I say I feel the same way. I do. I really do. I do feel like I feel the same way. Cause I'm like, somebody could say something to me and I'm like, what the
Yeah.
But if I do it to them, I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah. But why?
Cause that's just not who you are.
I guess. But it's sucky because
It's a pro and a con to be the person that like definitely look at the people look at the situation from both ends. Yeah. Even when you may be right. It's like, I don't know. I feel like we may have that in the comment, like where we look even when we know we right, we may still look at it as though like, oh, how would this person feel if I'm in their shoes? How would they feel? Yeah, I do that a lot. I'd be like, how do I feel? Because I just told you about the situation with my family, where I was like, oh, this is probably why, and I'll put myself in their shoes as if they right. You know.
I told you that shouldn't matter, but
that's just the way we think.
That sucks. Because that honestly, that can take a toll on you.
It's a pro because then you're able to see where you're wrong, but it's a con because then you like, okay, so when they gonna see they wrong,
and they never fucking do. So, has the development of the internet and social media caused a change in the way we communicate?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Social media, I mean, texting in general.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Message like sending messages is way easier than talking to someone's face.
I'm a victim. I'm a villain, victim, enemy. I don't know what I am to it, but I definitely do the same that other people do. Like if I feel like I don't want to say what's really on my mind at that time, I wait to text this person all day. And that's just because you got social media. Now, if you really want to get down to the gritty, pick up the phone and be like, "Wait, we gotta talk." That's gonna let you know everything right then and there because they ain't got time to come up with excuses, lies, or anything. And I think it definitely has taken a toll on communication, especially with everything you see online nowadays.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, I'm not no she man hater or anything, but the text threads that be like, "Oh, I'm no man's piece," and then they'll make text something like the girl may say something real rude to the guy for giving her like dry answers or something.
Yeah.
That could play a toll on communication because maybe she's seen that on social media and said it to him. It ain't her words, you know? Say what you feel.
Yeah. And then there's also like subliminal messages they could post on their Twitter or Instagram. Like something very vague, but you know it's pertaining right to you.
But you could have just told me that. Are we going through third parties?
Like I saw this TikTok, this girl, her friend's birthday was like a month from when she set up the plans. Her plans was to go to Italy for a week, and she said the Airbnb is $1,400 per person, and she invited 10 people. So the girl was like, "Oh, I really can't. I really can't go because I'm in a financial hole right now." And her friend did not respond, but like 2 days later, she was on Instagram going through stories, and she saw her friend post something like, it's time for me to let go of my broke friends and yada 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 yada. So then she texted her and was like, "Hey, is that about me?" And her friend was like, "Oh no, it's not about you. But if you feel like it is, I can't help that. But clearly it's about her if she's the only friend in the group chat that cannot go to the thing."
Yeah, communication on social media is weird.
So like, girl, you could have just told her that, or $1,400 Airbnb is crazy, and then to call her broke because she can't go is crazy.
Like, why are you posting it on social media for everybody to see, and potentially me, but you just couldn't tell me because it's now like you trying to get you're trying to get an audience or somebody. I don't know. It just seems like you're trying to get attention or something from my down because I can't do something that I can't afford. I don't know. Hope y'all stay tuned for the next episode. I feel like we slowly getting into the groove of things.
A little hard to start each episode, but we eventually get there. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you guys subscribe to this channel if you're watching, and if you're listening, hope you subscribe to our podcast.
Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye.